Welcome to Arts in City. I'm doing an oil painting. I have sketched out lightly with some blue oil paint, and I'm going to block in the main areas of just a local color. I will start building up the layers. I love oil painting. It's what my degree is in, and I enjoy the most. I love the way you can manipulate it way more than you can any other medium, in my opinion, for me. I love all the layering, getting the translucent layers, getting the opaque layers, the forgiveness of the medium. You let it dry, you paint over, create different effects. I am all about immediate satisfaction, so that was one of the main reasons I was drawn to oil painting, especially in college, was I was getting results right away. I knew it was happening right away. I love, here I am watering down or not watering down, I thinned out the paint with the mineral spirits, and I let it flow down, and then I blocked off some areas with my rag. If you're enjoying my videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Here I am. For the rest, I have already blocked out my main areas, but I'm going to go in here and I'm going to correct some of my initial mistakes. This painting took me a really long time. I actually started it a year ago, and it was in the winter, it was in the garage, it was cold, and I did it rather quickly, and then I started school again, and we got really, really busy. Life got in the way, and now during COVID, I've actually had time to finish it, just not edit my video. So here I am. I finished the painting, and now I am on my way to working on this, editing the video. So I blocked out her face initially, and here I am going to block in some colors. I don't want it to, I never really paint super realistically. I like that painterly feel, especially with my oil paints. I really love for my oil paints to really just shine and speak for themselves and showcase their abilities more than me just blending them all in all the time. There'll be some areas that are more blended and more realistic, and then there'll be others that are definitely more painterly. I like that juxtaposition of the two elements in each of my paintings. They all end up telling me what they want me to do anyway. I don't set out saying this is exactly what I'm going to do. So in all my paintings, I will start one thing thinking that that's what I need to do, and it will grow from there and evolve from there, and the painting will tell me what it wants to do and teach me a lesson in its own way. I do not use the black out of a tube. I will make my own black using alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, and burnt umber. That way I have more control over and flexibility with the warmth and the coolness of the color. So if I'm looking for a more cool black, I will add more blue. If I'm looking for a more warm black, I will add more of the alizarin crimson. The black that I mix for myself, it just gives me a lot more depth, and I just think it looks a lot nicer than just a flat plain black that doesn't do anything for the richness in your painting. Oil painting has so much more history for me, and I'm a nostalgic person. I love stories. I love knowing about the artists before me that used oils. I love the malleability, and it's just so rich in color and history and flexibility. I just can't even explain it. So I use different mediums also when I'm layering. So after I get a good layer on, I let it dry for a day or two, work on a different part of the painting, and I will add some different mediums like liquid or linseed oil, which will help either expedite the drying, and it'll also help create different translucencies in your paint so that you can kind of create that a tone without changing the entire color of your painting. So I am going and I'm working on the skin tones. I really want her legs to look like they have shape to them, and I was thinking that they really didn't at the time, especially when you go several months without working on a painting because you get busy. When you return to your painting, you're like, oh my goodness, like I really have to rework everything on here. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this painting. The next one I do for the video will definitely be different. I will try my best to just work on it from start to finish. I have a tendency to work on multiple paintings at a time because of I like to let them dry, and I like to think and contemplate and learn. I want the painting to talk to me and tell me what it wants to do. So this one kind of went through several of those things. I was just really loving her contrast, the contrast of her shape of her body and the colors of her clothing against this huge window that I photographed her in front of when she was going to school in Jackson, Mississippi. My daughter is a dance major, so not only that, she is definitely my muse, I would say. As a mother, you know, like your daughters or your sons, I wouldn't know anything about a son, but I'm sure it's the same. They are your reason for living. And so when I paint my daughter, it makes me happy. So I paint my daughter a lot. So I'll be spending the rest of the time on the painting, just going back and reworking areas that I'm not completely happy with, building up colors, creating some roundness, and creating some depth inside of the painting, and kind of just manipulating that background to just be more abstract, like it's taking over her, which is what I was really going for. I didn't start off that way, but as the painting progressed, I realized I was really enjoying that, how the background was just like she was competing against this background. She's almost like holding the background back from her, which kind of like maybe even subconsciously, like I know the struggles that she goes through as a young woman in this world, and I know, trying to figure out her place and what she wants to do, and so I think all of that kind of sits in the back of my head, and as I was painting this, maybe that started to shine through, and that may be even one of the reasons the painting evolved the way it did, because there were some definite transitions that went on between the time I started this painting and the time I finished it. So the storyline in my head changed. The life changed, so the narrative changed, so the painting changed, because when you paint, it's all about, for me, I don't know about for anybody else, but for me, painting, it's all about like what's on the inside. It's my medium that I choose to speak with. Like I do clay, and I was doing the watercolor videos, but for me, those are more of a craftier. I enjoy doing them, but that's not my outlet. My outlet would really be with oil paintings. I feel like I can say more of who I am, and even if it's not for anybody else, it's for me alone, and I learn more about myself. Here I am adding the liquid, by the way. I learn more about myself by just creating with the oil paints. So I interrupted myself a second ago. I am adding layers of liquid on here and creating some different tones, and you can kind of see how that light color I'm adding on top of her shirt just kind of like lays. It doesn't really like cover, just kind of like lays over with that liquid, and you can kind of see how it's creating more of depth. It's just kind of because you're adding transparent layers over other layers, and so it just kind of creates a richness and like a meatiness. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you want me to elaborate more, you can direct message me and I'll try to explain that. But I'm just kind of gabbing and telling you what's going on in my head as I'm painting this, and here I am being all meticulous. I never would have considered myself a perfectionist, but it seems like the older I get, the more I notice that in myself, that I have my own way of, my own ideas of perfectionism, and it has to be just right for me or it's not right. Kind of like when you're eating food, it has to have that perfect balance of spice. It can't be muted. It can't be like if there's too much, not enough salt or not enough pepper or not enough garlic. It just has to have that perfect balance. And for me, when I'm painting, I'm just looking for that perfect balance. For me, like I need contrast. I need boldness. I do not gravitate towards plain paintings or artwork in general. If it is, I don't want to say plain, I should take that back. Muted. That's not the right word either. Each work of art has to have its own perfect combination of colors and darks and lights, and it creates this medley. And so when I'm painting, I'm like constantly looking for that perfect balance, and it's not something that you just get, especially when you go months and months and months without painting, and you kind of go back to it and you're just like, oh, what am I doing? Do I even know how to paint anymore? You know, I'm sure every artist kind of goes through that. So I'm gonna shut up now and let the painting finish. And if you have any other questions, go ahead and you can message me, and I will get back to you when I see it, or as soon as I can. If it's gonna get really busy here because school's gonna start. Thank you so much for your time and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment, and go ahead and leave in the comments what else you would like to see me paint. That would be very appreciated. So again, thank you very much, and if you watch this all the way through, thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great life, and I hope everybody's staying safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.